Welcome to the MS-Perspektive podcast. Perspective with a K, as I'm German. I'm Nele Handwerker, MS patient, patient advocate and author. I'm bringing you interviews, inspiration and information about living with multiple sclerosis and show you ways how you can positively influence the disease and make the best out of your diagnosis. On ms-perspektive.com, you will find the show notes, 11 free tips as a PDF, and lots of other information. And now the show begins.
This podcast is supported by Mid-Mission, a project of the nonprofit Hertie Foundation.
Thanks for tuning in again, and welcome to episode number 66, Pioneering Paths, Empowering Young Minds in MS and NMO Research with Dr. Sara Samadzadeh. Dr. Sara Samadzadeh is president of the European Charcot Foundation for Young Investigators. She is ambassador of the Sumaira Foundation. She is research collaborator at the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation and postdoctoral researcher in the fields of neuroimmunology and neuroophthalmology at the Charité Universitätsmedizin Berlin in Germany. And now the interview begins. Hello, Sara. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me today for the podcast, and also congratulations to the really nice, friendly, and also unique podcast that you have started.
Thank you. Before we actually start with the interview on MS and NMO research, I would love you to ask you if you could introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, of course, yeah. My name is Sara, and I'm a medical doctor I have clinical neurology training in my background. I have started on a PhD postdoc pathway in neuroimmunology and neuroophthalmology at Southern Denmark University in collaboration with Charité University Hospital and Research Center. And more about me, I'm originally from Iran, the capital city, Tehran, and I'm currently living in the beautiful city of Berlin. And I moved to Germany about 6 to 7 years ago. And initially, I started to live in southern Germany, Bavaria. And then I had the privilege of working with at Düsseldorf University Hospital under supervision of Professor Peter Hartung in MS field, and then Professor Moite also in MS field. And then recently, since a couple of years in Berlin under supervision of Professor Friedman Pohl. And aside from the professional pathway, I can say I have a huge passion for learning languages, and also I enjoy networking with different cultures. And I had the chance to travel over the 40 different countries, and also I had the chance to live in several of them for extended periods, and also I love doing the sports, particularly jogging, running in nature, and my favorite spot at the moment is Tiergarten Park in Berlin.
Okay, great. So may I ask, how many languages are you speaking?
Yeah,
understanding.
Farsi, Persian is mother tongue, English, German, a little bit Danish, a little bit Swedish, Turkish, a little bit Arabic, and a little bit French.
Wow, quite impressive.
Thank you.
And over 40 countries. Hey, yeah, you are good. We had that within with my friends. We had a list of traveling to as many countries as possible. But as climate change is not really good, we don't do that thing anymore.
I think a good point, really good, clever point. I think I try to just doing with a train maybe mostly, but sometimes it's really hard to do so when you're just going to another continent or like Japan or something. But still, yeah, it's a fair I can say critic to the traveling around.
But traveling is lovely, so never mind. So what was your personal motivation for your career choice?
That's really emotional question for me, because my journey into neurology began with my mom, who has been a great influence in my life. She is a well-known neurologist and also a MS specialist in Iran, and my whole fascination with brain and with mysterious world of brain, neurons, and everything related to neurology started in early childhood. So I can remember from my elementary school that I dissected the sheep's brain. And from that moment on, our conversation with my mom mostly, at most of the time, revolved around diseases, treatments, patients, autoimmune disorders, immune system whatsoever. And I have witnessed the evolving field of MS-related disorder for the past, I can say, roughly 10 to 20 years, observing my mom traveling around and like to conferences, like collaborative work and projects and so. And during my medical school back then in Iran, I can say I encountered my first cases of MS, and at that time, Leydig syndromes. And it was, I can say, a privilege and also a really nice experience for me to witness all this development and to understand somehow the changes of the treatment from the time that we didn't have so many options for treatment to the time that now we have so many options for the treatment, and we should choose among them for patients. And then I can say from my mom's inspiration and also a little bit of support from my parents and my lovely father, I chose to start this challenging path of immigration to somehow broaden my knowledge and also training at different institutes. And I came to Germany and I started my whole neurology pathway here.
Great. That sounds really like an inspiring mom. So please say hello to her next time you talk to her. That's really great. But okay, let's go into our topic. So firstly, I would like to start with the European Charcot Foundation Young Investigators Initiative. Who qualifies as a young investigator under the European Charcot Foundation's initiative? And beyond age, what other criteria must applicants fulfill?
So the young investigator or young investigator fellows, like / fellows, or we call it within the group legends. That's like a joke. But initiative is typically defined as a researcher who is within. This is like a new part to the initiative, who is within the 5 to 10 years of receiving their last academic degree, and beyond this time frame and this qualification, applicants are required to somehow demonstrate and show a strong commitment to neurology and MS field. And in terms of this commitment, we have a kind of criteria. So they should be a previous recipient of Young Investigator Award from the annual ECF meeting, or participant of ECF fellowship program, that I will get to the fellowship program later on. And also, they can be a participant or winner of the best poster at CITRIMS, the Committee for Treatment and Research in MS, the multiple sclerosis conferences, like ECTRIMS, the European version, that's and like PACTRIMS, the Pan-Asian, MENACTRIMS, Middle East, and so on, and ACTRIMS, like American as well. So this criteria somehow can help us to have the candidates or members that are not only promising in their in the MS field, but also actively starting contributing to the advancement of the research in MS and NMOSD related disorder.
Okay, great. So if I would, sorry, just making a joke, if I would study 20 years and just get my degree, I could be a bit older then.
No, I mean, I will try to explain later, but the criteria is now is below 40, and it was like below 35 years old. And then we suggested recently that it's not that much fair, and we need to have like a better timeline, because 5 to 10 years after your academic degree would be better, because especially for women, because they may have some kind of like maternal leave or some kind of a delay or a gap between the residency or PhD, that we should take those years also into consideration. So it's a little bit on the debate at the moment, and we're discussing to change a little bit the regulation in terms of having. And also, I think younger the definition of younger generation is changing at the moment. It's just not it's just not like below 30, below 35 or something like this. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that. It brings more equality to it. And what type of support can young investigators expect from the European Charcot Foundation?
So many different things. I have like a list to explain. So young investigator can anticipate like a comprehensive, like a range of support. But for example, it could be mentorship opportunities, a kind of guidance from the experienced researcher, like a faculty member of ECF, and like travel grants, a kind of support for travel expenses related to research activities, like abstract presentation during the ECF conference and for ECF conference participation, training opportunities like fellowship program and ECF, a small grant research grant. And for me, and from my perspective, the most important one is the fellowship community that we have. So within the community, we have regular meetings, at least 2 digital ones through the years, and also seasonal meeting with our mentor and with the faculty member. We have access to tools and platform designed to amplify the younger generation voice. As we have like a LinkedIn profile that we are really active. We try to show our participation in different congresses, achievements, milestones that each of members achieve during the year. And also we have opportunity to co-create somehow subgroups based on our interest. And also we try to start a couple of research projects within us based on our different perspectives that we have from the younger generation.
Okay. Let's dive a bit deeper into the fellowship program. What is the core purpose of it? And how does it support research into MS and NMO?
So there are 2 different grants, I can say. One is named a fellowship program. So the ECF tries to facilitate training time for young healthcare professionals. It could be PhD, neuroscience PhD students, or it could be like neurology resident, like generally healthcare professionals at affiliated MS centers all over the world, mostly in Europe, that we have like a really well-known MS center in Europe. And also we have another one that's called ECF, a small grant. It's around 20,000 euro for a year, or for one small project. It's mostly to support a small projects or short-term research project or preliminary research phases for early career researchers to have some kind of funding to start with a kind of MS-related project. So for each of them, we have 2 recipients per year, 2 for fellowship program and 2 for a small grant.
Okay, great. What is your role as president of the Young Investigators Initiative, and how long will you hold this role?
So really good question. I was elected as a president of Young Investigator Fellows, and I will call it Legends. So during the ECF 2023 in Baveno for the initial term of 2 years, and I think with the possibility of re-election for an additional 2 years. And then I think afterwards we will have the re-election or new elections for the position. And my primary responsibility actually includes somehow the most important one is maintaining close contact with all members and overseeing the whole implementation of all various activities at the moment. So for me, a key aspect of my role is establishing subgroups. And these subgroups should be tailored to the members' interests, like in potential directions. For example, we have initiated several subgroups like LATAM, the Latin American subgroup, with members from Argentina, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, and Argentina all together. So it's like another aspect and perspective to MS research. So we are trying to focus on that area more and more. And because European Charcot Foundation is based in Europe and most of the members are from Europe, we have just a couple of or a small group from other part of the world. So we will try to amplify and enhance the voice of those from other parts as well in our groups. And also we started the FAIR group. We called it FAIR, like Female in MS Research. So we try to have only female members, so in this group, and also working on the women-related topics like menopause, pregnancy, and this kind of topic as a research topic as well. And we also started recently MS healthcare system because we have, as I mentioned, we have so many people from other countries, so it would be nice to see other perspective for in regards to MS healthcare system all over the world. And also I'm at the moment, me with my lovely friend Sanya, the co-vice president, we're actively trying to start and initiate numerous literature review and also epidemiological project within the groups. And I think it's really important because this project can capitalize on the diverse and a kind of global membership of our community, as I mentioned. And this can make our group exceptionally well positioned somehow to show the wide range of perspective and expertise in MS research and from the younger generation view.
Okay, great. And how does the initiative handle situation where applicants or current fellows are approaching or have surpassed the age limit, which will happen to you at one point? Are you still keeping that networks that you established very alive and vivid?
I think the initiative. This is a really recent negotiation and discussion with ECF. Group and faculty member. The initiative tries to accommodate like members who are approaching or have like surpassed the age limit by offering, or maybe in the future, a lifelong membership. This actually allows them to continue participating in the initiative in a way as a senior members, or as a not younger but senior members in a way, still not faculty member, but it's something in between. And regarding the general age limit, as I mentioned before, so we're considering to have some kind of 5-10 years after completing the final educational program, such as residency and PhD, not necessarily something like 35 or 40 age limit, this kind of sharp age limit. I think it would be a favor, and particularly, as I mentioned, for women, that we can ensure that all members have a kind of opportunity to contribute and benefit from this community after all.
Okay, great. So everything is kind of moving.
Yes, I think so. Because younger generation is changing, live and vibrant, I can say. And every day somebody bring some new idea, bring some new perspective to the group. And so we need to every day work on that and just trying to keep up with this move and momentum.
Yeah, very good. So let's talk about another project you are very much involved, the Sumaira Foundation. You are an ambassador there. What is the Sumaira Foundation and how did you become an ambassador for Iran?
Sumaira Foundation is really close to my heart, I can say. And the Sumaira Foundation is a patient-established organization founded in summer 2015. And it's like this year we have 10 years anniversary for Sumaira Foundation. So, like my lovely Sumaira, diagnosed with seronegative neuromyelitis optica spectrum disorder, so like double seronegative, and after experiencing somehow sudden and severe vision loss and weakness and numbness back then. And the awesome thing is she launched the foundation less than 2 months after her diagnosis. So the Sumaira Foundation is dedicated to generating global awareness of NMOSD and MOGAD from the patients to patients. And also, at the moment, they are trying to include other rare neuroimmune conditions as well. It also aims to build supportive communities for patients and loved ones, like patient caregiver, and support researcher and advocate on behalf of patients. I think it's the goal. Sumaira currently serves as the executive director of the Sumaira Foundation, but we have the nicest faculty members on board as well, and also we have support from we have ambassadors and support from patients, patient caregiver, and also medical doctor and neurologists on the Sumaira ambassadors group as well. Myself, I first met Sumaira at MEDIM, the MOGAD annual meeting every year in Oxford, and through one of my I can say amazing neuroimmunologist colleague, Patrick Waters. And we had like a conversation, we discussed how we could introduce cell-based assay technology for NMO and for aquaporin 4 and MOG diagnosis criteria in general in Iran. And then we talk. Okay, we need the funding to implement this crazy idea and to have this bridge. And then we received a grant from the Sumaira Foundation afterwards, and at the moment we are now close to finalizing the cell-based assay at one of the university affiliated center in Iran to aid the diagnosis, and it is like a really big milestone for my career, I can say, and also for my country.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, we had that in our multiple sclerosis management studies. It's so important to get the right diagnosis and get the right treatments. Otherwise, if you get diagnosed with MS and receive some DMTs there, it can even worsen the whole disease course. So, okay, what strategies can ambassadors employ to enhance awareness of NMOSD and MOGAD among the general public and healthcare professionals?
I mean, I'm talking from my experience, so I'm honored to talk about my experience as an ambassador in both Iran and Germany. So, aside from this story, like facilitating diagnostic assay for patients in Iran, we have launched a series of educational seminars and webinars titled Iranian Insights. And this was like a kind of initiative, features like case discussion, lectures, but mostly our aim our audiences were young neurologists or young medical health professionals. And then during this phase, we also tried to translate all of the material into Farsi and Persian from the Sumaira Foundation website, and we tried to actively introduce the foundation during the Iranian MS congresses, neurology congresses as well. And in addition to all of those, like educational efforts, related to Iran and Iranian community, with support of other ambassadors, I initiated the one. I think it's a really interesting one. The move for NMOG, or the move for NMOSD and MOGAD, or I can say MS as well, but it's the movement called Move for NMOG. This movement try to encourage individuals to engage in one and only one healthy activity each day for themselves. So, and share it on social media, because we are in the generation of social media, and also distributing our thoughts and our mood and our everyday activities every day through the social media. So the idea is to encourage other people to just do one good, healthy thing each day for themselves. It can be just drinking water, it can be exercise, it can be yoga, different things. And we started again to conduct several interviews with ambassadors under this movement, to provide somehow diverse perspective on the benefits of exercise and various of activities that they are engaged in. Because my perspective is different from like another patient's perspective. So one can find like yoga really helpful. The other can see other sports like boxing. Really helpful and motivating. So it would be different, and I think to have so many opinions on board, it can help everybody. And I really enjoyed this movement, and it's really near to my heart, I can say.
Yes, sounds really good. And I mean, positive social pressure a little bit can help a lot to stay active and don't lose it and don't give up on the healthy habits.
Yeah, it helps me actually. It helps me to just to have like a 30 days of active, like 10,000 steps per day. So 13 days is not like easy milestone to achieve, but actually did it because I had to just show that, okay, I'm into this movement, so I need to do that. And then it was like really, it was really nice for me, and also I think it was like a really encouraging for others as well.
Yes, and in Berlin, I mean, you can even step out the door at 10 p.m. and go to another, I don't know, Späti or something like that to get your 10,000 steps full. Not the near one, but the one far away.
I can say I love Berlin. So
yeah, absolutely. I was living there for 13 years. It was lovely.
Yeah. So I can advertise a little bit for Berlin City. So
of course, I will support that. Why is it crucial for NMOSD and MOGAD patients to be treated by competent specialists, and how can ambassadors advocate for this?
I think it's important not only for NMOSD and MOGAD, but for all rare disorders to be treated by a specialist, and I can say subspecialists, because a specialist like general neurologist may be not qualified generally for like rare disorders in any way, but this in short, like accurate diagnosis, I can say effective treatment, as you mentioned, and also management of these complex disorders, like multidisciplinary act. It's just not treatment, because it's as you might know, it's nowadays these recent years we are trying to have multidisciplinary MS care, and it's the same for NMOSD and MOGAD as well. So as a doctor in subspecialism in the field, I can also say, and aside from and also as an ambassador, I can advocate for this by maybe promoting education and training opportunity for a healthcare provider in my country, in my case. And also to I found this series of lectures really helpful for those with general neurology in background, and also for medical doctors, I can say in general. And also, as an ambassador, I can say I can serve as a bridge to well-known healthcare centers. As I mentioned, we have a lovely people on board on our faculty member in Sumaira Foundation, and I can enhance this exchange of knowledge and resource within among them, and also between countries, I can say.
Yeah. I can totally agree. What are the most significant barriers to care for NMOSD and MOGAD patients globally, and how do these issues manifest in countries like Iran?
As I mentioned, for us, it was at that point the cell-based assay and the diagnostic assay, the accurate diagnostic assay. But aside from that, I think lack of awareness, because we don't have so many. I think in my country, they are really active. They have like really well-known clinician, really, but still, like I'm not talking about the capital cities and and also the big cities, but in suburbs and rural areas, and also other smaller cities, that we need to have more, somehow there is a still lack of awareness of the rare disorders, not specifically in NMOSD and MOGAD, but generally for all rare disorders. Limited also access to specialists and subspecialists in that areas, and also somehow high cost of treatment, not because we have like insurance coverage for the main treatments, but generally for the whole hospital admission, for the whole package of treatments that one individual with MS, NMO, and MOGAD need to receive. And also, I can see these issues may be compounded by, as you may know, also the economic sanctions that or the whole conflicts that we have in the area, in Middle East area, with the healthcare funding, with availability of medication or research funding, and so on. So as an ambassador, I think from the Sumaira Foundation, I cannot do like a huge amount of work, but because some of them are really politically, I can say it's related to political issue somehow. But I can work to identify these barriers and like a little bit collaborate with international neutral organization to find solution, like the patient base, like Sumaira Foundation. For at least we have tried to have the cell bases in one university affiliated hospital, and then we can move on to other centers, and then we can start to moving forward into the future.
Yeah. In the fight against NMOSD and MOGAD, what resources or support systems are currently most lacking, and how can ambassadors help bridge these gaps?
Generally, I think significant gaps exist in resources, but mostly maybe in funding for research, because it's rare disorder. Like it's a little bit different from MS research, and also access to quality healthcare, including updated treatment options. It's not available in all over the world, I can say. Global patient support networks. Thanks to Sumaira Foundation, we have already a really nice global patient support network mostly from Europe and like North America and Latin. But still, we need to expand our network as well. And I think ambassador can play a crucial role in bridging these gaps, like expand the network and fundraising. I saw some kind of activity for fundraising within the groups, and also fostering partnership with healthcare providers, establishing. So we try to, because we have so many ambassadors from different countries. When I saw some kind of issue with the diagnosis, I can easily address this by referring that patient or that person to another colleague of mine in different countries, that we have a really network in a neurology as well. So I think it's really nice, and also we can, as I mentioned, expanding this robust support network for patients and their families from all over the world. It shouldn't be necessarily from Germany to German like patient. It can be from Denmark to Germany. It can be from other countries, from Brazil to Germany. It doesn't really need to be limited to one country or these official borders that we have at the moment.
Yeah, sounds very good. And as long as you find a common language in one or the other way, or with the help of translation programs nowadays, I think this can work very nice. Okay, let's come to the quickfire Q&A session. Complete the sentence. For me, multiple sclerosis and NMO spectrum diseases are
for me challenges. Sorry to say that. It's I wanted to say hope, like courage, like something like this, but for me are challenges that motivate my deepest commitment every day to do the research and to do the patient advocacy.
Yeah. What development would you like to see in the field of multiple sclerosis and NMO spectrum diseases in the next 5 years?
That's a really nice question. I'm thinking about it every day somehow. So I think in the next 5 years, maybe it's a little bit ambitious, but I envision significant advancement in the realm of personalized medicine, I can say, for treating MS and NMOSD and MOGAD, and also double surrogate, if this would involve somehow tailoring treatment based on individual genetic profiles, environmental factors, and also disease phenotype to enhance efficacy and also minimize side effects. It's a little bit ambitious for 5 years, but I think we need to have it in back of our mind. And this goal is to somehow move beyond one size fits all therapies to more targeted approaches that consider the unique aspects of each patient's condition. This is for me, is ultimate goal. And in addition to that, I hope to see, as I mentioned, substantial increase in the global availability of treatments, and also, and not specifically in high-income countries, but also extending this investment to lower-income countries and regions for patients, and also we can I think we should prioritize healthcare funding and implementing international health initiatives to achieve that goal. And then this is also really important for me. And I think in recent years, we can see this movement all over the place. I think greater integration of patient feedback into the clinical trial process is crucial as well, as we have the PROMS patient reported outcome measures at the moment. So patient insight and experience should be valued more and more as essential data points that can inform both for design and study evaluation of the clinical trials. And I think it shouldn't be only improving the clinical outcome. I can understand this would be the really valuable and also primary goal for us, but it also should be about a quality of life of those with these conditions, I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is at the end, it's about what we miss or want to achieve in life, and not what the clinician thinks the patient wants.
Yeah, exactly. Or just push patients to just, okay, this is the important thing. That's why the whole concept of multidisciplinary approach, just patient-oriented approach at the moment, not the clinician-oriented approach. And also, generally, it is a little bit one step further into the clinical trials when we are not talking about treating patient at that moment. We are trying to establish a kind of, or find a kind of new treatment. So at that point, also we need to have. That's recently we have PROMS on board for the clinical trial outcome measures.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the first one you were mentioning, I think, hopefully with artificial intelligence, we can move on, and hopefully it will be spread out to the general neurologists, so that in the rural and urban areas, people get individualized treatment as well. And the second one, I think that's hard within 5 years, but I would love to see it happening.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, step by step, a little bit of just improvement, I think, is more than enough from my point of view. I mean, if we have like diagnostic assay in Iran, I think it would be enough for a year, 1 year milestone or one year achievement, and then we can move forward from that point. So we need to not put our expectation really high, and then just see what we can achieve in a really small amount of step by step.
Absolutely. And for the countries which have not that much money, I mean, if they realize that treating patients early in time and they can keep on working brings back money into the system.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to reduce the burden of the disease in general. Yeah.
So we were talking a lot about the Sumaira Foundation, but can you maybe mentioning the website where people can find the Sumaira Foundation?
It's easy peasy, like the SumairaFoundation.com. So it's and then we are really active. We have LinkedIn, we have Instagram, we have TikTok that I'm not a part of. I'm not a TikTok person, but also Twitter. And these are all it's really easy. The Sumaira Foundation Instagram, the Sumaira Foundation. And then when you, for example, in Instagram, when you following the Sumaira Foundation, the general group, then you will have suggestions from other subgroups like NMO, NMO via NMO or something like this for German groups, and then there is for Danish groups, and then the other parts, and then you will find a really nice community, and you can expand your community by adding those groups to your interest list, and you will also find so many ambassadors from all over the world with a separate account. But Sumaira Foundation website is really informative. And then there is podcast, podcast, YouTube's interviews with the faculty members about the new updates, and also you can find so many updated articles and recent articles. And we have a translation opportunity there as well to translate so many of the publication to different languages, and general information on the diagnostic criteria, and also The one part that I really really interested in the patient's story, and I really enjoy reading the patient's story from the diagnosis to the everyday lives. And we also had one NMO Bonjour, a short movie about one family from France. And I think it would be nice if anybody has time to just watch the really short movie. And we are trying to produce and make more information and also material for patient, also caregiver, and also health professionals.
Sounds good. So, and of course, I will anyhow link it into show notes. Okay, so we are coming to an end. Finally, what message of hope or encouragement would you like to share with the listeners?
Yeah, actually, I prepare something for this question because I expect it. So I can say to everyone living with MS, aquaporin 4 NMOSD, double seronegative, and MOGAD patient, please hold on to the hope. Every day we are witnessing and contributing to new breakthroughs in the scientific understanding and treatment of these complex conditions. I can say through dedicated research, we are constantly every day uncovering more and more about the underlying mechanism of these diseases. And we are trying to develop innovative treatments that promise better outcome, better quality of life. Remember, it's just a kind of message to us as well. You are not alone in this journey. There is a vibrant global community of researchers, clinicians, and even in my case, younger generation of researchers, clinicians, healthcare providers, and fellow patients, all united in their commitment to fight this disease, I can say, and to cope with these disorders. Together, I think we are working tirelessly every day to push the boundaries of what's possible in medical science and patient care. I believe in this statement. It's just not a motto. It's just not a cliche, but every day we change something. As we look into the past, as I mentioned, that I was privileged to see the development of this field, and look into the future. Let us remain optimistic, I can say, and also proactive. And I think your strength, courage, and stories every day, as I mentioned, through the website, Sumaira Foundation website, inspire us every day, and they reinforce the importance of our work, our research work, our clinical work. And together we will continue to make strides toward more effective treatment, not only for clinical outcome, but also for quality of life, and also ultimately cure or deal in a best way with these disease conditions. And I can say empower, engage, overcome together for a stronger MS community.
Fantastic. Yes. And I mean, I can only agree on that. I have interviewed so many great, fantastic people, more for the German podcast as of now, because I have more than 250 episodes there. But there are so many smart people, very engaged people looking for solutions, and they are finding new solutions step by step. And it's great to have such a big community worldwide working on, ending the burdens of the disease, and at one point, hopefully, even, making that it's not happening at the first place.
I think it's not one way. It's like I always tell the patients that we need you. We need your perspective. We need to be connected with you. We need this bridge. We need your perspective. So it's just not that you need the treatment. You need the clinical professional people. We need you. Every day we need to have perspective. We need to have your comments. We need your information to just move forward to hand we can have a better improvement, and we can have a better treatment, better future in this field, in this especially in a rare disorder area. Not for MS, sure, but I mean for NMOSD and MOGAD as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Sara, how and where can interested people follow your research activities? I guess everybody realized you are a very busy person.
I mean, so many people actually commented that, oh yes, I'm a busy person, but I really like these extracurricular activities from my original work and research and like clinical everyday work. But because as I mentioned to you earlier, that it actually motivates me. It motivates me to move forward. So I receive energy from these communities, and it's really for me fascinating and amazing to be in contact with people, to be in contact with these communities. So for publication, obviously my publication are available on academic platform like PubMed, and there is ResearchGate, LinkedIn. I'm actually really active in LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, and also the ECF, and also a couple of posts for Sumaira Foundation as well, but under Sumaira Foundation. But I'm running the Young Investigator on LinkedIn we have like a spotlight on younger generation, as well as a kind of like not podcast, but a kind of interview with each members about the journey in neurology and MS field, the updates. And it's really nice because it's like a little bit of it's a little bit also personal. It's just not all about the research. It's a little bit to know about this younger generation, how they deal with this pathway, this really difficult pathway. And also I'm active in Instagram. I posted like social activities and also professional activities all together. I think it's really important for other people and also specifically for patients to see like researcher doctors in both ways, social activities and also professional activities, to get to know the people. We are all people. We are all together in this journey.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we need healthy doctors as well. And you need a good relationship. That's something I recommend to people. If you don't get the chemistry with your doctor, go look for another one, because if you have to talk about your symptoms, and sometimes, it's hard to get over that, barrier to talk about bowel disorders or sexuality disorders or things like that. You need to trust that person. You need to find that other person sympathetic. Otherwise, you won't do it, and then you have a higher disease burden because symptomatic treatment is very, very important for all of these kind of diseases. Sara, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that lovely insight into the European Charcot Foundation Young Investigators, as well as the Sumaira Foundation, and your role as an ambassador. And please keep as active as you are. And of course, I will link all these all your activities and all your social media accounts, so people can follow you or get in contact with you wherever they are active, if it's LinkedIn or Instagram or whatsoever, or look for your papers on PubMed. And I hope to meet you at one of the maybe ACTRIMS in the future, not the one in Copenhagen. I guess I won't join this one, but maybe the next year then, when my little one is a bit older.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. And also, I love to be in contact with people. I love to be in contact with through the social medias. And please, and thank you so much again for having me. And we will be in contact and see you maybe in the next ACTRIMS, as you mentioned, not in Copenhagen.
Yeah, thanks.
And also in Berlin.
Yeah, maybe in Berlin.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hope you learned something new and maybe got inspired to look up these websites, pages, and get in contact. And please, stay positive. As Sara mentioned, there are lots of reasons to do so. By the way, next time I will continue with the series on DMTs, and then it will be about the interference. So please tune in again and suggest the podcast to anybody who doesn't know about it yet and might be interested. And see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening today. I hope you found it helpful. You may also be interested in the previously published episodes and posts, which you can find at ms-perspektive.com/podcast. Perspective with a K. You can also get a free PDF with 11 tips for your positive impact on MS at ms-perspektive.com/newsletter. If you'd like to get in touch, you can reach me at nele@ms-perspektive.com or on social media. See you next time.